Hi, I'm Jane Wells with CEOs You Should Know, and you are?
I'm Nick Desai.
And what's your company?
The company is called Peatos.
What is this?
Peatos is think of a crunchy puff snack that tastes better than Cheetos, but is made from peas instead of corn. Cheetos are full of artificial colors, artificial flavors, added MSG, and they're made from corn. And we had a notion to change all of that and revolutionize the entire category of color. We call it junk style snacks in the United States. It tastes fantastic. It tastes actually not like you're eating something made from peas. That's the key. It tastes like junk food. I started my career, strangely enough, in investment banking. In 2008, when the markets crashed, I wanted to do something different, and I always had this entrepreneurial bug. My dad was an entrepreneur, my grandfather was an entrepreneur on both sides of the family, my brother's an entrepreneur. And so I had this, I grew up in Orange County, but my parents are from India. And so we used to go visit my grandparents every year. In the United States, I was a consummate, Frito, I would call it a Frito-Lay snacker, because they make amazing salty snacks.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Doritos, Cheetos, I mean, these were my favorites growing up, Funyuns, all of these things.
Funyuns?
Funyuns are fantastic.
Okay, I draw the line at Funyuns.
But when we go to India, I was exposed to the Indian world of junk style snacks. Also crunchy, also fried, also delicious. But there was a key difference between those snacks and the ones here back at home, and that was the Indian junk food snacks were made out of a base of peas and lentils instead of the American junk snacks, which are made out of a base of corn or potatoes. And they do that in India not because they're trying to make the snack healthier. They do it because that's the cheap local crop, much like corn and potatoes are over here. But when I looked at the nutritional profile of these, call it the traditional American junk style snacks, and then the Indian junk style snacks, I was fascinated by the fact that the Indian junk style snacks had about 2 times more protein and about 3 times more fiber. And peas and lentils are non-GMO. They're naturally gluten-free. You can walk through Whole Foods and find aisles and aisles of these kind of healthier snacks. If you pick those up and eat them, it's often like putting cardboard in your mouth.
Absolutely.
It doesn't give you the craveability, the satisfaction of eating Cheetos. There was a company that was in the nut and trail mix business called Energy Club, and in 2011 I acquired it thinking that I could repurpose this company to go into snacks.
You bought it yourself?
I bought it myself, but not all my own money. So I needed money. I needed $3 million actually, and I didn't have enough. Let's just put it that way. And so I put together, but I said to myself also that I'm like, you know what, I'm going into this industry that I know nothing about, and I never run a business before, much less a business in the food space. And so I thought to myself, what I need to do is I need to find really successful people from the food industry who will then not only become advisors for me, but also invest in this thing, because then they'll have a real vested interest to see me succeed.
They have to believe in your vision.
Exactly. And so I'm like, let's kill 2 birds with 1 stone. I need money and I need expertise. So let me go get it together. And what I always had and what I was always good at was I had a great network. And through investment banking, I had an amazing network, right? So I started tapping into my network, and it was literally like cold calls, one after the other. And I got introduced to this guy, he introduced me to this guy. And
what was your pitch? Give me your elevator pitch.
The pitch was, we can revolutionize a $20 billion category in the United States with a simple notion. Replace an underlying corn base with a pea or lentil base and create this incredible snack that people will love. Junk food is a big thing in the United States, and it's an epidemic in some ways, right? It leads to obesity, it leads to a lot of things, but it's not going to go away. And we can't regulate it out of existence. We can't, tell people to eat carrots all day and peas. It's not going to work. It's here to stay. And so the only way to really attack it, I thought, was to create something that can replicate it, but is better. And people love that. And the other big thing was we said to ourselves, look, Cheetos has a lot of artificial components in the seasoning. That's how they get that really bright orange color. That's how they get that super explosive flavor. Moms today don't want to put artificial stuff in their kids' mouths. So if we make the snack out of peas, but we still chock it full of artificial stuff, it's not going to go that far. We have to make it, we have to replace the artificial components with natural components.
Wow.
But we can't do that and then impact the taste. That's another big thing, because
Yes.
you can easily do that, and all these brands are doing it, but then they end up with a snack that has no color, it tastes chalky or stale. And so we said to ourselves, how do we get this right? And again, we had to get some of the brightest minds together, and we got the seasoning right, and then we put it all together, and boom, Peatos were born. After we created the product in late 2017, I'm like, you know what, we got to get it out there now, right? So we sent out samples we got literally a cold list of 40 produce buyers across the country. and we sent it out to every major retailer in the country. And I remember this because I sent it out on a Thursday, and I came into the office Monday morning, and I thought that the little light on my phone would be like, flashing because it'd be like the phone's ringing off the hook, and it was like crickets. And a week went by, nothing. 2 weeks went by, nothing. 3 weeks went by, nothing. And I'm not starting to get a little depressed now, right? I'm like, I thought I'd solved the holy grail of snacking. 4 weeks goes by, and my head of sales runs into my office, and he's like, Nick, you're not going to believe what just happened. And he's like, the head produce buyer at Kroger was on the phone with me, and they want to meet you in 2 weeks. They love this. And we went and met with them, and they said, we want to launch this nationwide. And that was literally our first customer. 2,000 stores in the produce section. It was our dream. It was what we wanted all along, where we wanted to be in the produce section. We want a big retailer. Kroger is the second largest grocery retailer in the country.
I see a tiger on here.
Yes.
Name is Peatos.
Yep.
Did Cheetos have any problem with this?
They sent us a letter about 4 months after we launched. And I think their biggest gripe was with our original tagline. The tagline we were using at the time was tigers live longer than cheetahs. And our mascot's a tiger, theirs is a cheetah. In the wild, it turns out that tigers actually live about 5 years longer, their lifespan is. So it was a completely factual statement, but they didn't like that direct reference. And our lawyers felt very comfortable with it, but at the end of the day, they have a lot of resources and they're a big company. We spent a few months, back and forth with them, and just this week we settled with them. So we've agreed not to use that tagline, that particular tagline, and they've agreed not to challenge the Peatos mark or anything else about what we're doing.
These are Cheetos. These taste just like Cheetos. They don't smell just like Cheetos. They're pretty close, but they taste just like Cheetos.
They have the texture and the cheesy appeal, right?
Well, what's your conversion rate, do you think? I mean, do you have any sense?
When we sample these, people are blown away, and our conversion rate has been about 50%. So 1 out of every 2 people who try the product are buying it. That's why one of the biggest things we're focused on, and Jay and I appreciate you having us today, is getting the word out. As a small company, that's what you're missing, right? You don't have if we had the budget to do a Super Bowl ad, this thing would be like a $100 million thing right now already.
Are you going to is that your dream?
Yeah, one day, why not? Last year at this time, we were in 100 stores. Today, we're in 5,000 stores.
Nick Desai, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right.